Guillermo del Toro has to be one of the most unlucky, lucky people alive, and I'm going to tell you why. You see, he was born in Guadalajara, Mexico, where his father was a car dealer and actually won the lottery when he was 5 years old. This is what allowed Guillermo del Toro to actually be surrounded by books and get a proper education. And for his first major film, which was going to be titled Omnivore, it was going to be a stop-motion animation project. He had completely self-funded it and had worked on it for over the course of 3 years, making all the puppets, making all the sets, and then one day it was vandalized and everything was destroyed and everything was lost, which meant the film had to be completely canceled. He then decided to go for something a little cheaper because he still needed to fund it himself, and he made Cronos, which is a live-action film. Once again, Del Toro completely funded this himself, having to mortgage his house, having to sell his van, and everything. He even went on record to say that he had a 110% interest rate on his loan for the movie. After he created the movie, though, he received no support from the Mexican government, and they didn't even try to distribute the film. So what did he do? He paid for himself to go to the Cannes Film Festival where it was finally screened. It was met with amazing reception and people loved it. And while he was there, he also met his good friend James Cameron, who would go on to have a lifelong friendship with. At one point, Del Toro was even living at Cameron's house where they supposedly had a, quote, domestic relationship. That was his words, not mine. And would often watch anime and movies together and just kind of enjoy each other's company. More on this later. Despite this film being a critical success, it didn't make any money, and so he had to get a job. And what did he do? He started working as a VFX artist and a makeup artist for several years before finally getting his next big break. So 1997 rolls around, he gets his first big break, which is the movie Mimic. But what production company was funding this film? It was Harvey Weinstein's production company, and this is where the problem occurs. You see, Del Toro goes on to talk about how horrible his time with this production company was, how horrible Weinstein was to work with, and that he constantly tried to get him fired. This resulted in James Cameron almost coming to physical blows with Harvey Weinstein at the 1998 Oscars, where supposedly James Cameron almost hit him over the head with his Oscar that he had just won for Titanic, mind you. But in 1998, something horrible happened once again. You see, Del Toro's father, Federico, actually got kidnapped. This was a horrible time for Del Toro, and the kidnapping lasted 72 days with the kidnappers demanding a ransom. Now, who came to his aid? None other than his good friend James Cameron. During the crisis, James Cameron actually paid and sent a hostage negotiator for Del Toro to use, and also even offered to pay the ransom himself. Supposedly, Cameron spent about $250,000 on the negotiator, and then the ransom was about $1 million. Del Toro's father was successfully saved. He greatly credits Cameron's intervention for the actual rescue of his father, though he did want everyone to know that he later paid him back. Though after this, Del Toro did end up leaving Mexico and said it makes him sad as he feels that he is an involuntary exile from his own country. Finally, Del Toro got his bigger breaks. He directed Blade 2 as well as Hellboy. 2006 Pan's Labyrinth is when he's finally started to be taken seriously as a critical director, winning several awards and several Oscar nominations. He was nominated for Best Director, Best Film, and he ended up not winning those, but he did win Best Cinematography and Best Makeup at the Oscars. In addition to this, he did win several awards at Mexico's awards, the Ariel Awards. He won Best Movie and Best Director. It wasn't until 2018 with The Shape of Water that he would finally win his first Oscar for himself, winning Best Director and Best Film for The Shape of Water. The man just kept winning. In 2023, he won Best Animated Picture for Pinocchio, and most recently has been gaining notoriety for his adaptation of Frankenstein, which, if you haven't seen this, I highly recommend it. Excellent film. Overall, Del Toro is an awesome director with a great love of the macabre and the horror of it all. He makes amazing movies and is greatly influenced by anime and loves video games as well. At one point, he was even involved in trying to make the 9th Silent Hill game, where he was collaborating and helped make a playable demo called PT. Eventually, the game was canceled, but I'm sure nobody actually wanted to play this, right? Yeah, that's wrong. A lot of people wanted to play this game, but we will never see the light of day, unfortunately.